For over 4,500 years, the Great Pyramids of Giza have stood at the edge of the Sahara Desert. Massive, silent, and enduring. According to the accepted historical narrative, they were constructed during Egypt's Old Kingdom by thousands of laborers using copper tools, ropes, and wooden sledges. These workers, directed by architects under the rule of Pharaoh Khufu, supposedly dragged limestone and granite blocks weighing several tons each across the desert, stacking them with astonishing precision into structures that have withstood the ravages of time. But the more we examine the pyramids, the more that story begins to unravel. The Great Pyramid of Giza, in particular, is filled with anomalies that defy simple explanations. First, the precision. The base of the pyramid is nearly perfectly level, within less than an inch across a span of 13 acres. The sides are aligned almost flawlessly with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, more accurately than any modern building before the invention of GPS. Inside, narrow shafts align with stars, chambers are positioned with mathematical accuracy, and massive granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons are placed dozens of meters above ground level. There is no written record from ancient Egypt detailing how the Great Pyramid was built. No blueprints, no project notes, no lists of workers or tools. This is highly unusual in a culture that obsessively documented its religious beliefs, rulers, and daily life on everything from tomb walls to temple pillars. Even more puzzling, there is no confirmed burial ever found within the pyramid. No mummy, no treasure, no tomb inscriptions. Just empty chambers and immense silence. So, what were the pyramids really for? In this documentary, we go beyond the textbooks and question the story we've been told. Because the pyramids may not just be monuments to the dead, they might be keys to understanding a chapter of human history we were never meant to know. And here's what that means. One theory suggests that the pyramids were not built by the ancient Egyptians as we know them, but inherited from an earlier civilization, one far more advanced than previously believed, possibly wiped out by a cataclysm thousands of years before recorded history began. Geological studies of the Sphinx show signs of water erosion, indicating it may have been constructed during a time when the region experienced heavy rainfall. Perhaps over 10,000 years ago, when the Sahara was a lush, green landscape. If this is true, it places the construction of at least some of these monuments long before the rise of the Egyptian dynasties. Some researchers argue that the pyramids were not tombs at all, but machines, devices that may have had energetic, astronomical, or even technological functions. The internal layout of the Great Pyramid suggests resonant acoustics. The positioning of its chambers corresponds to frequencies used in sound engineering. The materials used, limestone casing stones, granite in the king's chamber, and the electromagnetic properties of the layout, have led some to speculate that the pyramid may have functioned as a kind of energy generator, not unlike Tesla's theorized wireless power systems. On a global scale, the mystery deepens. Why do pyramid structures appear all over the world? In China, Mexico, Peru, Sudan, even under the sea off the coast of Japan? Why do so many of these structures follow similar proportions, align with solstices and stars, and encode advanced mathematics? And how could so many distant civilizations, with no contact between them, create such similar structures, unless they were either influenced by a common source or inherited this knowledge from a forgotten global culture? The answers to these questions are uncomfortable for mainstream history. They challenge the linear view of human development, that we rose gradually from primitive hunter-gatherers to modern civilization. Instead, they point to a cycle, a possibility that high civilizations may have risen, fallen, and been buried by time and disaster, leaving behind only scattered clues and enigmatic structures like the pyramids. So, why are these ideas dismissed? Part of the answer lies in academic inertia. Once a narrative is established and widely accepted, changing it is difficult. Careers, reputations, and institutions are built on it. Funding is rarely granted for research outside the mainstream, Excavation reports that contradict official timelines are shelved, sealed, or discredited. And when independent researchers raise alternative theories, they are often labelled as pseudo-scientific, regardless of how compelling or well-documented their evidence may be. But the weight of anomalies can no longer be ignored. The pyramids are not isolated wonders. They are part of a larger puzzle that may rewrite everything we think we know about human history. They challenge the boundaries of possibility and point toward a lost chapter, one of advanced knowledge, forgotten science, and civilizations that rose before ours, only to vanish beneath the sands of time. The pyramids are not just monuments to the past. They are questions carved in stone, waiting to be answered. And perhaps, just perhaps, they hold the key to understanding who we really are and where we truly come from.